Hello and welcome back to another video of the F1 2021 Driver Career Mode with Mercedes, episode number 37 today for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix of Season 3, round number 5. If you missed the previous pain at Monaco, then of course you can go and check that out, as well as any other episodes that you've missed throughout the series. And of course, subscribe if you're new to the channel to see plenty more F1 2021 Driver Career Mode videos. As when they come out. Next one will be tomorrow, of course, around Canada. And of course, these two episodes this week, Azerbaijan and Canada, are very important episodes. We want to get ourselves back in with a chance of the championship, really, because of course Max Verstappen has a 17-point lead going into the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So yes, we've got a little bit of work to do there. We've also got a little bit of work to do on the R&D. And in the previous episode, you might remember that I repurchased this rear diffuser, rear downforce, ultimate rear downforce. That's going to come in for this upgrade, this episode. I'm torn between either the ultimate weight reduction upgrade or the ultimate front downforce upgrade for the next two upgrades. But nothing, I don't have enough resource points, so I'm going to go and obviously try and get as many as possible going into the next couple of races and try that. Red Bull, of course, have plateaued as our upgrades have come. Some of the other upgrades have come through, including that rear downforce upgrade. McLaren, can they get back to their winning ways? I mean, they did look good in the opening couple of seasons. They trailed off though. Apart from Ricciardo winning at Imola, which was against the runner play, I must admit. It's been a quiet season for them, especially for Norris. He needs to get his act together if he wants to have a chance of winning a world championship. But they are improving McLaren in that silver, orange, Papri orange McLaren livery car that they've got for this season. But yes, moving to qualifying then, and for once I was thinking, well, I always qualify well somehow around here. Never got pole, but it's usually a good spot for me. That was until qualifying. Well, first of all, ignore that corner cut there. I've got no fuel left. Ocon hits the back of us. And then obviously I'm trying to get out of the way to let it through. I'm pulling over to the left because obviously I'm coming in. So Ocon's already made contact with us. Now Ocon now is sitting on the right hand side. I am completely off the racing line, and we get rear-ended by Pierre Gasly, and they've given us a 5-second penalty. So he's on board with taking the racing line and then just steers left into me. Yeah, that's a controversial one. Let me know what you think about that in the comments below. But anyway, we just got to get on with it. We are down in P8, so we need to have one of our best qualifying laps of the season. We want to get anything out of this race and really, well, be able to charge the championship really as well. For me personally, I don't think that should be a 5-second penalty. I was going the same speed, not rapidly decelerating like Max Verstappen as yesterday's Saudi Arabian Grand Prix as well. We've had a good, first sector is okay for me, about par with the AI, with 10th down on Leclerc as well. Middle sector though is where I can make a lot of time up. I'm not that great in the middle sector as well. Always able to try and cut that corner earlier as possible, but not get too much of the curve there. Through the castle section, there's always a chance to make some time up here. Don't go too wide there, and almost 3/10 up now as we go through into the final section. This swooping right hand section is a section that I do like, but it's also a section where the AI got good. That corner's a lot easier than it has been on previous games. We gained a lot of that, 0.2 of a second up on that corner, and we're now coming through the final section. A little bit wayward on the exit there, but we have gained the time as well, as we're in the slipstream of one of the Williams cars, who's given us a nice little tow down this back straight, and we're going to actually gain almost half a second on our previous best time. We're gaining so much time thanks to the slipstream on my old team. 0.6 improvement, and I think that was P4. It is. And that's the closest I've been to beating Hamilton in a qualifying session so far. Verstappen on pole ahead of Ricciardo, not separating them. A little bit unrealistic the times both of them are set, really, unfortunately, but that's the way the game is. So yes, I will definitely take P4 with P9 on the grid though, so we'll see what we can do for 9th place on the grid. It's time for the race for today's Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
A warm welcome to all of you watching at home to today's Azerbaijan Grand Prix, and a race that in its short history has already proven no stranger to drama. A 4th row start is just about as likely to give you a podium as a pole position would. And remember, in 2017 and 2018, both Lance Stroll and then Sergio Perez took surprise podiums here. Baku city circuit then, an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season. It's race day yet again, and joining me for a chat, Anthony Davidson. And our racers are certainly in for a rough day today. What will you be watching for as they go down into turn 1?
Well, the start of the race is always one of the most nerve-wracking parts. You have to hope that everyone is able to get off to a clean start, and this is possibly the trickiest part of the entire race. So many drivers in such a small space, and finding your braking point into turn 1 as well. It's a testament to the driver's skill that there aren't more incidents.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and P2 goes to Daniel Ricciardo, a strong showing from the Australian. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Hamilton, Norris, Carlos Sainz and Leclerc, Stroll, Russell, a Mercedes and Antonio Giovinazzi, Gasly, Vettel, Sergio Perez and Tsunoda, Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Nicholas Latifi and Guan Yu Zhou, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And now it's time to head down to the track.
Now that we've got some points on the board, let's continue this form and aim for another top 10 finish.
Jeff would start saying something else. I know he keeps. I know we got tired of no heroics and devots, but really he just says the same line over and over and over again. But anyway, enough about Jeff. 5 red lights then for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix for 9th place on the grid. Lights out and away we go, and it's an okay start. Russell cuts in front of us on the to go to the inside. We're going to try and go on the outside of Russell. That's going to give us a great run around the outside of Stroll and Leclerc there, both of which were forced up by Norris. We'll try and go around the outside of Norris, nothing doing in turn 2, and we have to defend from Leclerc, and we are able to do so. But jumping to lap 2 then, obviously we're very good in a straight line. We've set a purple sector. Can we get in front of Norris? No, we can't quite, but we will have DRS of course, but so will Norris have on his former teammate Carlos Sainz, so we'll be able to get in front of our fellow British driver as well. We've got the DRS though, but we're closing at a rate of knots. This is such a good car on a straight line, and we're down the inside. Norris sees the position, and it's a good move up into P5 then. We've also got the fastest lap point as Ricciardo and Hamilton have an absolute ding-dong off their friend. They're going side by side for turn 1, side by side through turn 2. They're still going side by side down the main straight, and I think well, they're still actually going side by. Hamilton then loses out. Sainz tries to have a go, but then Sainz loses out, and we're now going to try and go out the inside of Sainz into the middle sector. This isn't an overtaking, so I've got all these Sainz to space around the outside, and he takes the curve. I don't want to get side pod damage from him. Remember, we need to of course try and make many positions we can. Sainz cuts across us in the end, and we have to actually can't get past him before our pit stop. So we'll look to undercut him because he is a little bit slow, Carlos, as well. So into the pits we come at the end of lap number 5. Slightly early. I think we probably could have gone one more stop, but I mean, fair enough. 2.8 second stop, that's okay as well. Leclerc, who was way behind us as well, is not going to make it. He stays behind us. Fortunately, we are going to come out. We're going to come out ahead of Mick Schumacher on the hard tyre. I think he started on the hard tyre for some reason. I don't know if the Haas is that bad on these tyres, but we are ahead of that blue Haas car. So filters out behind. Up ahead though we've got Nicholas Latifi, and he in the Alfa Romeo, and he is out of the race with an engine failure, as we've got 3 wide between, I think that's Perez, Alonso and Verstappen there, and that little knock from Alonso allows for the safety car to come out. Unfortunately, under the Delta, Lando Norris came back in front of us out of the pits, which I'm not. So he has jumped us through the pit stops of the safety car, which is really annoying. That is, but there is hope up ahead, because of course we have the race leader is our former teammate Sebastian Vettel, who is on the medium tyres. Second place, Fernando Alonso, is still there recovering from his little spinala earlier as well. Excuse me, I think it was Ocon actually, not Alonso, that spun actually, excuse me. As we get ready to to restart, it's good, we're going to make an instant overtake on Norris and Hamilton down the inside, right down the inside. We can't be waiting about for Hamilton and Norris stuck in the traffic here as Guan Yu Zhou in the Alfa Romeo, of course, making his debut in Bahrain next year for that team in real life. We go around look for around the outside, so into the middle sector, and we make a good move and up the inside, up into P6. Next up is Perez and Ricciardo. Watching Max Verstappen, he's all over Vettel, coming up into the middle sector, and there's contact, and I think Verstappen's been into the wall, and Ricciardo has been shoved into the wall as well by Alonso there. So how many have got front wing damage? We'll have to wait and see. Remember, simulation damage is on. Has Verstappen or Alonso, Ricciardo, as Alonso definitely has front wing damage. He's going so slowly. He's able to make an overtake on that. Really, what is the final corner, really, as the others are just flowing through. As we're going to try and make a move on Perez now. This will be for P4. So we're having a good comeback in this race after a penalty. And saying that, Verstappen, Ricciardo and Vettel are all in. And we've taken the lead then of the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. What a comeback from being rear-ended by GASLY into turn in qualifying, but it's not over yet. Stroll takes the fastest lap away from me, and Lewis Hamilton, he's also looking to restart his championship by winning the race. He's going to try and go around the outside of me. We force him off into the path of Norris as well. It's a British 1-2-3 as well. But Hamilton, of course, isn't going to give up. He's he's actually an 8-time world champion in this series, in this career mode. Obviously, he missed out on the championship in season 2, looking for a 9th championship in season 3, but it's not going so well for him. And go up to the line then. Can Hamilton get the straight line speed he wants? No, he can't. He's falling away, and up to the line we come to win our first Grand Prix for Mercedes, our second overall, versus the Dutch Grand Prix of season 1. I will definitely take that. This championship has just all of a sudden has swung in our direction.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, what helped them deliver this result, do you think?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium.
So there we go. But it's good to be back on the top step. It's been a little while, I must admit. I mean, it felt like a lifetime ago since that Dutch Grand Prix, I'm not going to lie. Ricciardo actually stole fastest lap away from Stroll, which is good because obviously we are in a constructors fight with Red Bull as well. Verstappen only 12th, so in the end, well, we've gone from being 17 points behind to being 8 points in front of Verstappen. We were back leading the championship as well. Hamilton, there's a huge fight from, well, that's 3rd to 8th, all separated by just like 8 points there, so it's very tight in there. In terms of the constructors, Mercedes and Red Bull are sort of moved slightly ahead of Red Bull.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. Who would you say is your biggest rival at the moment?
No comment.
You're leading the championship. Are you happy to be there or feeling the pressure?
There's no time to get complacent. We do know that there are tracks that I'm not good at and will probably lose points to Verstappen and maybe even any of the others. I mean, the McLaren drivers, maybe they can get their act together. Lando, of course, got a P3, so we'll never see what happens to
Your
them.
team secured the top 2 positions. Is it safe to say you're a winning combination?
When we're not crashing together, yes. Especially at Portimao and Imola, actually, we've both come together, so we need to work together to take on Red Bull.
How do you feel these grid penalties are affecting the sport?
Well,
here's hoping they're working hard to find some improvements.
Cannot be serious!
I don't know how Claire expects us to improve on first place, but there we go. Yes, it is a win for us. It is a good win for me today. It's exactly the kind of result that I needed to get back in front, leading the World Championship once again. Obviously, Canada, Austria, Canada episode tomorrow, and then Austria next week. Those 2 races, I'm also targeting victories because, of course, Great Britain and Hungary are dreadful races for me. Silverstone is a cursed race for me. I've had so much bad luck at my home Grand Prix. It is unbelievable how poor I've been out there over the years. I've only ever won at Silverstone on the short layout, never the full layout have I ever won a Grand Prix there. Hungary as well, it used to be good there, but then since F1 2020, the middle sector sort of losing a lot of time there. So there's a lot of stuff to come in terms of those episodes. But if you have then enjoyed this video, then leave likes, subscribe channel, and you see plenty more F1 2021 driver career mode videos as and when they come out. Until the next video, then I'll see you next time. Take care. Thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your day, and goodbye.